Yo, what is up? Bro, the first comment that I'm reading is, I'm lucky to hear you second time in 3 days. Brother, let's fucking go. Dick parents. Alright. Let's set the tone for the stream. What is up, everybody? Hope you all doing well. Can we do a quick audio check? Let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. And good evening. Good evening. Hey, Twister, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Bitcoin, Ethereum hype, that's, we got that covered. What's up, Ailey J? Hope you're well, man. Let's see if we get some juice here on Bitcoin. Bit of a lackluster here, follow through. Let's give it like a minute or two, or maybe even 4. Let's give it a bit of time. Maybe we get a flush here before we can take a look at some altcoins. But honestly, bro, Bitcoin is looking horrendous. Bitcoin is looking horrendous. All right, so how are we doing? A 53K watch party. I know who you are, brother. I know who you are. But yeah, we're gonna do it. To be honest, listen, like all jokes aside, like today is not focused about Bitcoin. However, listen, we've been hammering about this for so long, right? Previous quarter value high resistance, previous quarter VWAP, location, destination, right? That's what we're getting right now. I think we're overshooting this. I think we might be getting 80K, which is the previous year value high. Honestly, this should hold a support, because if we don't, then everything, all bets are off. If this doesn't hold a support, then we're cooked. We are genuinely cooked if that doesn't happen, right? 65. The coffee is right here next to me, man. I had an extremely busy day today again, like getting everything sorted around the house, doing my fucking head in, but we're good. We're good. Let's set an alert here, just in case. Alert. Crossing down once per minute. By the fuck out of this. All right. So that's it on Bitcoin. Today is all about altcoins, and we're going to be starting with Ethereum. 12-hour chart. And we are first. Let me just quickly start the stream off. First off, what is up, everybody? I hope you're all doing well despite the current market conditions, because let's be honest, this has been one of the shittiest cycles, honestly, for me, that I have watched unfold, with a huge amount of scams, Bitcoin only rallies. Everybody is within altcoins trying to hope for an alt season, which never comes. We got some outliers in terms of hype, etc., right? They did really well. But besides that, the market is a ghost town. And I think, damn, too many people are focusing on getting the next, multiple about X50, X100 or whatever. But I think it's important to keep a level-headed approach in terms of, should you really be buying altcoins? And if so, which altcoins can you be looking to buy? What's the invalidation? Also very important. So that's what we're going to go over today. I have prepared some charts myself: Ethereum, Sol, Hyperliquid, Litecoin, and XRP. I want you to do these so you guys can see how I do this within my system. And after that, I want to do a Q&A where you can send your request in the chat, and then we're going to cover them together. So it's a bit of an interactive stream, right? Where I want to show you guys how I do it, and then you can try to do it on your own by looking through my screen. All right. I thought that would be a cool addition, just, to let you learn how to approach the market in a specific way. That being said, before we head towards the altcoins, I will just want to give the attention here to the crypto total market cap here. Now, if we quickly add the rolling view app here, and preferably only focus at the yearly rolling view app. Now, for those of you who are new, I like to use VWAP within my system. You'll see that throughout the streams. But in my honest opinion, if we're taking a look at the 2-day chart here, let's zoom out a bit like that. You know, I hope you guys can see this on your mobile phones. However, if we take this into consideration, the yearly rolling VWAP for the crypto total market cap, it has been the most genuine support throughout rallies where it was time to accumulate, you know, your favorite altcoins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, heck, even the dog shit coins you could have accumulated during this time, right? Right here, accumulation, expansion higher, new all-time high, huge rally. However, the moment we genuinely accept below the yearly rolling VWAP within the crypto total market cap, it has always marked a significant shift where we go from a bullish structure towards a bear market. And that bear market, like this was a year of, you know, pure pain. Like this was insane, right? Then the moment we reclaimed it, accumulation, expansion higher, right? We retested it, accumulation, new highs, expansion higher. So honestly, by looking at this chart, we might be entering a period of, because let's be honest, I know a lot of people are getting wrecked, like huge amount of people are getting wrecked, but I will allow for some of this here, right? What I don't want to see is, I do not want to see multiple, like, listen, this is acceptable right here, this, right? Wick into it. We are not able to close below the yearly rolling VWAP. We push higher, and then right here, like this right here, this time and space on a 2-day chart, that's not what I want to see. And then if we fail to hold this and we reject, I mean, that's the confirmation that, all right, guys, well, bull market is done. We're heading into a prolonged bear market where we initially have a price-based capitulation, and then we've got time-based capitulation, right? Where, you know, everybody is basically, you know, this was horrendous right there, right? That was a lot of pain for a lot of people. Then we pushed above, reaccumulation, new highs, right? So that being said, we are reaching the point of max return, where if this genuinely ends up being a deviation below this low, and we do a bit of this, reclaim it, and then do that, right? I think this right here is where you're loading up. You're loading up on, oh my God, I ate Chinese, so you know the drill. Damn. You're loading up the boat on Hype, for example, other outperforming coins that are doing really well compared to Bitcoin, right? You want to see relative strength. So I'm thinking, well, whilst everything is looking extremely shit right now, it was not up here where majority of the accounts were calling you should be buying altcoins. No, because it doesn't really make sense. If Bitcoin is auctioning lower, you don't really want to be buying altcoins, because altcoins, they will just go lower compared to Bitcoin, right? They're just higher beta. So right here, this is where I think the maximum opportunity will be for altcoins, right? A very bad time. You apparently live stream Bitcoin just crazy, bro. I don't really care, man. Like, listen, if you have a system and you know what you're doing, I've set an alert here at the previous year value high. Like this, I'm pretty comfortable, to be honest, because we're rejecting off what the previous quarter value high. We've been fucking hammering about this since forever. Destination was VWAP. If we accept below, well, you know what's next? It is the previous year value high, right? Look through my previous streams. You'll see that we've been kind of hammering about this for quite a while. So that being said, the yearly rolling VWAP right now, max fear. We've got Nvidia releasing in what, like 2 hours or something, I think. So that's why we're probably getting some sell pressure here. We need to hold as a support, and I'll let this play out. I'll let the market show me whether or not we're getting a shift below or whether or not this is forming a base here. So no, that's all good, man. No need to apologize for that. So rolling VWAP, let's get rid of that. Altcoins, Ethereum. First off, bands, right click, let's get Ethereum on here. Let's break it down. Reset chart view, reset chart view, reset chart view, reset chart view, like that. Starting off on the yearly. Ethereum is looking like shit because The moment it was trading within previous year value, it tried to break above previous year value high. It failed to do so, and then it auctioned back towards VWAP, right? Rotational within the upper half. Acceptance below previous year VWAP right there. What's the destination? The destination is going to be that previous year value area low. Now that we're trading back below previous year value area low, purely based on the yearly time frame, what's going to be the next likely destination? It is going to be a very old yearly value area high around 2K. That is confluent with a sweep of this low. We've got a bunch of equal lows to the left side of this chart. I'll show you guys in a bit as well. But to me, honestly, like if we're getting a deviation below the low on Ethereum, this needs to be the low for continuation higher. This is max opportunity down here. We're taking a look at the quarterly value. Right, same story here. Try to accept above previous quarterly value high, unable to reclaim it as support. What's the destination? VWAP, and ultimately value area low in the quarter. Wicked into previous quarterly value area low. Cannot reclaim this. We can't reclaim it. No need to be bullish, right? As long as there's no time and space here between an actual retest, this is considered a bearish retest on Ethereum, right? Everybody got really bullish. Why? It's big ass resistance here, right? On the quarterly, auctioning lower towards this low. Monthly, I mean, the monthly is cooked. We don't even have to talk about a monthly, and the weekly is something that I don't really use on the lower time frames for altcoins. So if we take that into consideration and we put everything on a single chart, I first want you guys to notice that if we do this towards a weekly time frame, we've got, let's get rid of that real quick. No, I want to hide everything. Hide all. In terms of structure, we have got a weekly bullish order block down here. We have got multiple lows here, right there. We've got a low, another low, another low. So I think max opportunity for Ethereum is when we trade lower into the weekly order block, then reclaim that low for a 3-tap setup right here for at least a move back into this structure around 27-ish. All right, let's get back. Let's get everything back on the chart. 12-hour time frame. So essentially what we're doing here is we've got range high, range low, and we've got the bunch of equal lows down here, right? We were failing to hold previous quarterly value low as support, and now we're even trading back below previous year value low as well, right? It was initially support, clean break below, rotation lower towards an old quarterly value low here, but ultimately I think if we close down here, let's say that we close down here, this will become fresh resistance in the form of an H12 bearish order block. We do a little bit of consolidation, try to break back above, get slammed back down, and then we're targeting the lows. I think if we're getting this and then a reclaim of the low, I'll be thinking about longing some ETH. Well, I think it's it's not outperforming Bitcoin whatsoever. I think that this is a good opportunity to be looking at some longs here after we sweep the lows into weekly demand, confluent with an old previous year value high at 2K. This is our bullish line in the sand, all right? How do we know that's a bullish order block? Can it be rejected? Are you referring to the weekly demand here that I'm referring to? So basically to put things simple, if you see a down close candle before a market structure break, this is considered a bullish order block, whether that's going to be on the weekly, daily, 4-hour chart, hourly chart, or a 30-minute time frame. Doesn't really matter. So for Ethereum, it's clear. I want to see continuation here or a reclaim of the previous year value area low. And that's it. Other than that, I'm chilling. Now, let's quickly take a look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin sweeps an old low. Do we have a, let's see if we can get some sauce going. All right, 30-minute time frame. We've got what? 17 minutes left, 40 minutes left. I'm thinking here that if Bitcoin closes back above the previous quarter VWAP after sweeping this low, it's forming a high volume bar there. If we can do this, the low is likely in my opinion, are probably going to be gunning towards the highs, all right? But it's an altcoin stream. Focus. So let's do it together. The bands first. So right here. So again, what is the yearly time frame telling us? And if you have any questions, guys, do let me know. If I'm moving too quick or anything, let me know. So right here, we've got the yearly value. Yearly value very high was support numerous times, right? It was a good support, but then we broke back within. We didn't even have a retest, so purely based on the yearly, there was no trade here. But what's the destination? VWAP. If we trade below VWAP, what's the destination? Value area low. So as long as Sol is trading below 150, I am inclined to think that we might be seeing lower prices towards I'd say 115, right? On the yearly. Then we've got the quarterly. Initially rotational between the extremes of value, right? It was support, broke back within VWAP, support, accepted below VWAP, value area low, support. Now we're trading below value area low. This is a bearish development, right? So the yearly is bearish, the quarterly is bearish. Let's take a look at the monthly. Monthly time frame. Multiple rejections again, right here, right? We cannot really accept back above previous month value around 205-ish right here. That's bearish. Followed by continuation lower. We've got the monthly developing value area low, resistance, continuation lower. So right now we've concluded that we've got a bearish year, bearish quarterly time frame, and a bearish monthly time frame. The weekly, again, not using it. I might as well just do this right here. Let's see, this is the monthly. Let me just make sure that we've got the quarterly here. And then I want to have the monthly down here. So that's better. All right, taking everything to this chart, daily time frame, weekly time frame. Let's take a look at the weekly. Yeah, weekly. So, or even the monthly. Let me just check. Okay, yeah, the monthly. So I saw some charts about monthly support, which I tend to agree. However, to me, considering that, the weakness across Bitcoin, and that's why, you don't really see me doing these altcoin streams a whole lot, because in my opinion, you should only be charting Bitcoin, and then you should be looking at what's outperforming Bitcoin, and then based on that, you can take longs, right? For example, if Bitcoin does not form a low right now, then altcoins certainly won't as well, right? However, if Bitcoin forms a low, you essentially just want to see which one is outperforming. And then when you have it, then you can take that trade. So even if Sol is looking good into this support, I still want to know, well, is Sol outperforming relative to the rest of the altcoins, right? But, we've got a low here. We've got monthly support there. Take a look at the weekly. Now let's just go towards the daily time frame here. Right. Let's do 3-day, by the way, otherwise it's getting too messy. So the thing that I want you guys to pay attention to is, we swept all-time high, right? Right there. We closed back within. Everything is still Gucci, in my opinion. But this right here, this structure, that's important, right? It's a really pivotal level. It's the previous quarterly value area low. It is also the previous year VWAP. Now that we're trading below, I wanted to see this hold of support. I saw a previous low there. I got nice daily demand here. What I wanted to see, basically for longs on Sol, was sweep it, reclaim, and then in my opinion, we would have seen some relief higher. But we are accepting below all key relevant levels, right? Below the quarterly, below the yearly. We've got Bitcoin shitting lower, potentially hitting the previous year value area high around 80K. So in my opinion, as long as Bitcoin is auctioning lower, Solana will do as well, right? So stack low, stack low, stack low, stack low. We've got previous year value area high. We've got monthly support. Two things lining up each other. In my opinion, max opportunity is going to be a big flushing to this level, and then a base, right? And that's where I want to be looking for longs for at least a rotation between previous year VWAP and previous year value area low. I don't really care if this doesn't necessarily has to be the all-time low. Or the low before the next bull market. No, I know that right now the range that we're trading within is between 150 and 113. If I get long here, my main target is going to be 150. If we break above, super cool, right? At that point, we can target higher prices. But until then, I'm taking shorts there and I'm looking for longs there, right? Now, hype. Hype, hype, hype. Everybody is posting about hype. But let's see what the hype is all about and if it is sustainable. Let me just quickly take a peek at Bitcoin. No, not looking good, bruv. All right. Let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. So, Hyperliquid. You get a lot of fucking cringy tweets. But in the yearly, we don't really use it because we don't have a year of data. The quarterly, we're not really using it because we don't have a quarter full worth of data. However, the monthly. What is the monthly telling me? H4. Let's quickly take a look at the H4. Previous month value. Value area high. Value area low. This is what we call acceptance. Enough time and space so I can draw half a circle here, right? So we auctioned below previous month value area low, and then we retested it. Everybody tweeting. Hyperliquid. We're so back. Only one is outperforming. Hyperliquid. It's cringe as fuck. But we're trading exactly at the previous month value area low. So as long as we are not able to maintain this as support, lower, right? And, you know, I think whilst I am looking to build a position within hype as well, I'm just not that comfortable yet because of the interaction here at the previous month value. If we take everything into consideration and we take a look at this chart, also what I tend to do is I like to take a look at, if you look at DEX Screener, for example, and you get the indicator VWAP and you do anchored from the start, from the listing date, you will see that anchored VWAP will look something like this. No, like that. And then this is where we broke below it. And one of the things that I tend to do is when we've got new listings, the anchored VWAP is extremely important because if we lose that level, the trend is basically over and we're going to be, you know, going from a trending environment towards a bracketing back towards reaccumulation. Where am I looking to build a position on hype? In my opinion, I would love to see a reaction around 16.15, maybe everything within this consolidation here. But as long as we're trading below the previous month value area low, it is kind of considered to be a bearish retest there. So if we do this and then accept back above, then maybe lows are in and we're going to be targeting the highs here. But until that happens, this is considered a bearish rejection and I'll be looking to get some fills down here within this previous consolidation. I think that's going to be a good location, right? I'll take requests in a bit, Feetrex. Give me a sec. Pay attention though, because if you're pulling a request with me, you will need to answer my questions regarding the VWAP, right? I want to know if you guys are paying attention. What's up, Grant? Hope you well, man. Bitcoin is genuinely cooked. Yeah, let's take a look. Yeah, it's cooked. It's definitely cooked, bro. Keep an eye on the previous year value high. Keep an eye on that. Link. Okay. So what is Link telling us on the yearly? Link is telling us, similar to other coins, that previous VWAP was support. Now we're breaking below. So what's the destination? The destination is going to be previous year value low. That's it. Because first, we're rotational between value high and VWAP. Once we accept below, we are rotational between these two extremes. All right. Let's take a look. Why is this on a 30-minute time frame? Let's go towards the H12. Let it load up. So the yearly is kind of looking bearish. The quarterly, however, is looking kind of good. And if we take into account how it is reacting at previous quarterly value, look at this. Really clean interaction. Look at this. Really clean interaction. Almost to the tick. So I'd say on Link, this right here needs to be holding a support. So the value area low is going to be a very important pivot. If we break below, we're going to go much lower. But until then, decent opportunity here. Then we've got the monthly. I mean, the monthly on all altcoins, the monthly time frame is kind of, you know, it's just trend continuation. We are not able to accept above VWAP. Then we go imbalance down, and then developing value low, you know, becomes resistance throughout the trend lower. So I think majority of the altcoins that we will be covering today, they will have the most insights based on quarterly value. But taking everything into account here, and let's take a look at a regular chart. Link. right here. Daily time frame. All right. So the range low here is one thing that I'm paying attention to. And then we have a daily down close candle before we're shifting structure there. Daily demand. That daily support is around the previous year value area low. We've got the previous quarterly value area low there as well. So what I would like to see here is, of course, this will be dependent on Bitcoin. What's Bitcoin doing, right? Because if Bitcoin is going back towards 60K, Link is going to 0. If we do this, form some sort of a range, then wick into daily demand, and then ideally on the H12, we form a bullish H12 order block, right? A H12 down close candle there. The next candle is a bullish engulfing, closes above the previous down close. At that point, I think this area can be considered as potential longs for a move back towards at least the previous high, fill in the fair value gap, and then maybe into that previous year VWAP right there. What will be really bullish is if Link can auction back above previous year VWAP, at which I expect it to trade back into the 24 region, right? But we'll have to see. We're going to be reacting to what the market is telling us. I'm not going to be predicting shit. If we sweep it and then have a market structure break, it's bullish for at least a move back into 16 and then potentially into 24. But before this occurs, we need to be reclaiming that previous year VWAP. Next up, we've got Litecoin as a request as well. Very strong reaction, to be honest, on Litecoin. I'm liking what I'm seeing, but to quickly go over it right here, we basically front run previous year value area high right here, right? We didn't really retest it. However, the monthly is really clean here, but let's take a look at the quarterly. The quarterly broke below previous quarterly value area high. It then failed to hold its resistance, and now we're kind of trading back above. If this is bullish, I would want to see this H12 down close candle hold a support. So we can do a little bit like that. Maybe wick a bit through, right? But ultimately, this now needs to hold a support. Why are we getting some sell pressure here right now? Well, if we're taking a look at the monthly, we are rotational within previous month value. Really clean rotations. Look at where the low formed right here, right? We got support there. Confluent with previous month value area low. Wick into it. Rotation back towards VWAP. Acceptance above VWAP. Previous month value area high. Confluent with what? Confluent with, let me show you. Bearish order block, right? Bullish order block. So this is why I like VWAP, right? I'm not using it on its own. I'm using it to determine where am I looking for order blocks or whatever you want to be trading. So that being said, everything towards a single chart. Litecoin. 12-hour chart. So we've got a bunch of equal highs here. Equal highs. We swept into the previous month value area low. Confluent with support here. Now we have a break back above this previous low. If this is going to be bullish, I will allow for some. I want to see a short-term consolidation. I don't want to see an immediate retest here. No, I want to see, let it just do its thing, form a fair value gap here, then spike into the level, and then I need to see a strong close back above. For example, on the H4 or the H12, and that's the confirmation to me that, all right, buyers are willing to lift the offer. Previous quarterly value highs holding a support. We're probably going to be seeing continuation next towards the equal highs. If we don't do that, if you want to be a bit more conservative with your entries, I think the invalidation here for bears is pretty obvious, where if we take a look at how the previous month value high has responded to price in the past, if you want to be a conservative trader, wait for a break above, longer retest, and then we can target the highs, right? That's on Litecoin for me, but so far it's looking pretty good. But again, highly dependent on Bitcoin. XRP, the army, VWAP. Let's take a look again, right? Do you guys see how simplistic this approach is? But it just allows you to see, to get a bias, right? Where you want to be trading it. So the yearly. That's quite a sharp drop towards previous year value high. But let's be aware of this level. Around 1.5 is previous year value high. Confluent with this consolidation, it's a good level for longer term trades. What's the quarterly doing? The quarterly, in my opinion, isn't looking the best. This was promising right here. That big flush lower, close above, right? Retest as support, continuation higher, but VWAP is capping it. And if I recall this correctly, there's a previous month value area high there as well, or previous month VWAP, but we'll see in a bit. And now we're kind of struggling to hold previous quarterly value highs resist as support. So to me, that's an indication that we might be seeing lower prices towards this low. Monthly. Rotational here within the month, right? Support, resistance. Now we're auctioning below previous month value area low. Bearish development. Everything on a single chart again. That gives me this range. And the range that we're trading, if we take a look at the 3-day real quick, right? We've got a relatively thin, let me just zoom it in for you guys that are on mobile, because I know like 90% of you guys are on mobile. We've got a relatively thin move here, right? No real support. Genuine support, in my opinion, is right here at the 3-day demand, confluent with previous quarterly VWAP and the previous value high. That's support. So if I want to be looking at longer term plays for XRP, I have no interest in trading any of this. Instead, if we fail to hold the previous quarter value high support, I might just look for a potential short there on a retest towards this low. But for longer term buys, I'm thinking 3-day demand here confluent with a fair value gap, confluent with our contextual level in the form of yearly and quarterly VWAP. That's probably going to be your best bang for your buck. Right, and here we can see that we had the range high, previous month VWAP, couldn't accept back above, right? And then we're rotating lower, previous month value low here, and then now we're trading at the previous quarterly value high. So from a liquidity standpoint, we just took out this high above range high. I'd say maybe we're rolling over towards a 3-day demand. But, other than that, while I would love to look for trades here, I just don't see them on XRP, right? I'll see you next time, Twister. Do you ever use TPA on altcoins? Not really, because I do on Ethereum, but on other altcoins, I don't really use the TPA on that. I think VWAP is more than sufficient for that. All right. So who's going to be the first? Because those were my altcoins as an example. And now I first want to take a look at Bitcoin here. 30-minute chart. How did we close? High volume point of control. Where is it? Show me the candy. 1 second. Okay, so this is not what I want to see. For those of you who are trading Bitcoin, all eyes on this low. We now have a high volume point of control, indicating a large amount of volume within this rotation. For upside towards the equal highs here, what you want to see is a clean break back above there. Don't be a dick, try to knife catch it down here, because we're basically trading in the middle of nowhere, right? Genuine support is at the previous year value high. So if we can accept back above this candle high, then retest it, then I think it's game time towards the equal highs, fair value gap right there. But until then, it's looking pretty rough. Okay, so we've got the first one. Jilo, what's up, brother? So Sui, if I pronounce that right, that means that you will have to tell me what you see on the chart. Sui USDT. Let's see if you're paying attention. Let's open up this chart. And let's start off on the yearly, the quarterly, and the monthly. What are you seeing right now in terms of the yearly? Let's zoom in. Are you like, well, it's looking good, or what are you expecting at this point? And don't be shy. There's no real, right or wrong or whatever. Just interested to hear your thoughts on it. 2.3, 1.8. Well, I'm thinking here that looking towards 2.3, negative 1 point of control, and 1.8-ish. Yeah, I think that's good. What we have here is that we've got the previous year value high. We had some good rotations here, right? Support back towards developing value, support back towards developing value, looking pretty good. However, now that we've got a weak Bitcoin, altcoins are weak as well. And this pair right here is struggling to hold previous year value as support. Then if we move things towards the quarterly, I'd say we have been consolidating here at the upper half of previous quarterly value. Perfectly fine. But right here, this is starting to look like a bearish retest at the previous quarterly VWAP, right? And at that point, the destination is probably going to be the value area low. And then we've got the monthly, same story as I said before. The monthly is just bracketing within monthly value. Developing value area low is, resistant at this point. So let's take it towards the regular chart. Right here. Let's get our lines in. And let's put on some lipstick here. So we've got previous year value area high. We have got previous quarter VWAP. Where's previous year VWAP? Previous quarter value area low. Previous quarter value area low. And then we've got the previous year VWAP down here at 1.8. Oh, that's nice. You set 1.8, right? That's good. Previous year VWAP. All right. Weekly time frame. Let's get rid of this. I want to see where the rolling VWAPs are as well. All of them. Let's take a look. That's good to know, brother. That's good to know. Okay, so rolling VWAP right off the bat. I'm thinking daily chart. This is the low. So we've got the yearly rolling VWAP here. And that's going to be a big one. So let's draw in a range. Range high, range low, range high. Around the quarterly rolling VWAP. Then I want you to take a look at the weekly. Do we have weekly support here? Yes, we do. A weekly down close candle there. Slightly below that. All right. Daily. Relatively thin move. We filled it in by that wick. Okay. I'd say as long as you're trading. Do you guys see the interaction here, by the way, with the previous quarter VWAP and the previous year value high, how strong this is, right? The moment we accepted above, that's when we went on towards this rally. Right here, right? Now, it's actually the first time since November 24 that we're seeing it being flipped. So, as long as this holds this resistance, let me zoom in. As long as this holds this resistance, I'm expecting a move lower into this low. And then into the 365 VWAP here, right there. And then, if you want to be a bit conservative, you can wait for it to sweep and then reclaim the low. Or if you want to put on some risk, you can set limit orders here within this block. I'm thinking that if we're going to go towards the lows here, towards range low, we're probably going to go towards these lows, fill in the gap, and then into this level right here. But short term, it's not looking too good. What would invalidate that? Basically, if we auction back above this high. Clean break back above, bullish breaker, look for longs at a key contextual level, target these highs. But until then, it's looking rough. Okay, buddy. All right, so we've got Teo, next up. What's up, man? Let's hope you're well, man. All right, Gilo. Good to know. VWAP. All right, we don't have enough data to go with the full year. That means we're heading straight towards the quarterly. Pretty obvious here where, we were trying to accept back within previous quarterly value right here. Then we failed to hold this as support. Resistance. Super clean trades, by the way, on this pair. I might just add it to my watch list. Really clean rotations. So bearish here. On the monthly, we were trying to accept back. We were trying to accept back within monthly. We did that. Acceptance above VWAP. We got capped at the value area high, and now we're rejecting here at the previous month value low again. Not a good look. in terms of older quarterly value, we can use this one where we got resistance at 450, 340, 340, 340. All right. Going back towards my price action routes. Whoops. Come on now. Get that in here. All right. Let's take a look at the VWAPs. Previous month VWAP here. Previous month VWAP. Previous month value area low. And then we've got the developing values, not really of importance. Get rid of that. Where's my rolling VWAP? The quarterly in the 30, that looks bearish. All right. All right. And then I had this level right here. 335, 335, 335, 335. Old quarterly, no old previous quarter VWAP. All right, like that. Okay. 12-hour chart. Maxi chart. Oh, really? Wait a minute. Let me just check. Oh, shit. All right. I hear you. Thank you. Okay, so that's way better. Because support, resistance, right? So all we're really doing right now is we're bracketing within the lower half of previous year value. The quarterly is still rejecting a previous quarterly value area low. The monthly rejected a previous month value area low. Okay. So I hate to break it to you. Be gone. Let's add in some levels real quick. Previous year value area low, right here. Previous year value area low. These are arguably going to be the most important ones. Previous year. Previous year VWAP. Previous year VWAP. Whoops. All right. And then we got previous month here. Previous month value low. And let's take a quick peek here at the 30-day rolling VWAP. All right. So that's not looking good. Because we are rejecting from the yearly and the quarterly rolling VWAP right here to the tick. So that explains the downside, to be honest. But I mean, I'll be honest, it's looking a bit tricky here. Let me just take a quick peek here at the weekly. So the weekly here, this is an important level. 3-day chart. Daily. The fact here is that usually I would say that my level of interest is going to be this range. Where I would love to look for longs here on a sweep of the low. But to me, that would indicate that we're also trading below previous year value low, which would be extremely bearish. However, we're also trading below previous month value. Previous month, previous quarter. That's 450 around previous year as well. All right. So at this point, you could, let's outline this. Thicker line here, right there, and then we have this daily down close right here. So if we're getting some relief, it should be from this point on. So let's say that we're sweeping the lows right here. It can do whatever it wants, right? But it shouldn't close below the midpoint of this daily order block. Reclaim previous year value area low because it's still key high time frame support. Then you can look for longs. However, keep in mind that it's risky because we have the previous month value right there at 400-ish, right? So if you're taking a trade, keep in mind that if we reject hard here, it's not just a level, right? It's big ass resistance here. So if you get along here, then this is definitely a good area to TP some, and then we can target the previous year VWAP. Until then, I mean, it's kind of dependent on Bitcoin, where you know, I would love to get long here as well, but if Bitcoin isn't really finding a bid here, right? It's looking rough. So as long as Bitcoin isn't really finding a low, then it will bleed lower. But so far, it's trading at key contextual level here. Previous year value low. So I wouldn't be surprised to see if a low forms, if let's say hypothetically speaking, the Bitcoin forms a low at the previous year value high, right? And that ends up being the low for quite some time. Then I think we've got tail Bittensor. We've got Bittensor doing pretty well here from the previous year value. Confirmation will be acceptance above 400, at which I fully expect it to take out 500-ish, right? Considering these equal highs here, right? Who requested this? Does it make sense? According to me, which altcoins are outperforming? Well, I can show you that real quick. Let me load up a different chart. 1 second. Yes, I'll take XLM afterwards. First, let's show you. So we've got the index here. Currently, which is outperforming? Let's take a quick peek. Is there any way to get this indicator? Yeah, so the streams are sponsored by Bybit. So you can either get the indicator set by trading on my referral link from Bybit, or you can just join our Discord group, but it has a monthly fee of like, what is it, $90 or something? Oh, no, 125, I'm lying. It's 125. If you take the quarterly sub, it's 90 a month or something. So which ones are outperforming here? First off, let's take a look at the indexes. We've got the one that's outperforming here is DeFi, clearly, because we've got Maker, USDT on the month. This is on a monthly time frame, right? On the month, yeah. So outperforming on the month. After that, we've got Bitcoin, and then we've got the top 30 AI sector. The thing that's doing the worst here is memes, etc., etc. Then we've got on I think this is the week. Yeah, on a weekly time frame, DeFi as well. Let me just make sure that I've got that. It's number 7. Indices 7. All right. Let it load up. And then which one is doing the best from that section? TradingView is doing fuck all. All right, here. So right now, I'd say Rune. If Bitcoin forms a low, let's quickly take a look at intraday, because this is daily. We've got memes doing the best, which is number 6. Number 6. All right. Let it load up as well. I don't know why TradingView is it's feeling slower to me. Okay, so in this case, right? Everybody sees this, right? If there is going to be a low on Bitcoin, let's say that Bitcoin is forming a low around here, 8.4. Let's say that we can close the day above the previous quarterly VWAP. And this is more so how I approach altcoins, right? I'm not necessarily charting every individual altcoin, because I think it's just higher beta compared to Bitcoin. But if Bitcoin can show me that we are auctioning above previous quarterly VWAP, around 85, right? We accept back above. My bias for Bitcoin and the market as a whole is going to be up, because Bitcoin failed to break below previous quarterly VWAP. That's why I think we're going to go higher, back towards these equal highs, into this fair value gap there. This for Bitcoin would mean that it's probably going to be a 4 or 5% move, right? However, altcoins, considering that they are just higher beta compared to Bitcoin, they will do maybe 10%, 15, or even 20%, right? So we could chart Solana or Hype or Link or whatever, but if we're looking at what's outperforming within the current market conditions, we've got Rune, Maker, Bobcat, and Ordi as the outliers here. So it's basically, you know, this helps me form a bias where I'm like, all right, let's take a look at Rune, let's take a look at Maker, let's take a look at Popcat, etc., etc., etc. And then if Bitcoin forms a low, I believe that these will be outperforming instead of Link, Uni, right? Because Link is doing minus 15. Rune is holding up really well. Even Popcat, right? But that's probably because it's already at 0. But does it make sense? Does it answer your question? I'm okay with my hiccups, brother. Do you know why? It's because I ate Chinese. I always get hiccups when I eat Chinese. Bro, by the amount of people that were shitting Popcat, let's take a look at the chart. Let's have a little bit of fun. By the way, let's take a look at Rune first. Rune USDT, because it's doing good. Why is it doing good? Do you see what I mean? Look at this chart. Compared to the rest, it's up. Right? Relative strength. God damn, what a chart. All right, so we're coming off an old yearly value low there. Bro, this is just some of these coins, man. Let's, if we zoom out. Damn. So yeah, I would just take this as an outperforming trade. Fuck me. What a chart. But yeah, to the one who asked me about how I get it, this is how I'm getting it. You don't have to have the indicator that I'm using. You can also use some other indexes on the internet that are posting it. I just like to have this on my TradingView chart. That is why I'm treating an Altcoin trade as a higher beta trade compared to Bitcoin. So if I'm bullish Bitcoin and I just want to capture a larger percentual gain, I'm looking at what is outperforming, what's moving the most. In this case, I'm taking a bet on that pair and I'll close it. I'm not going to be trading Rune based on the Rune chart. No, I'm trading Rune based on Bitcoin. So I'm longing Rune, for example, because it's outperforming. Once we start to trade above the previous quarterly VWAP, I'll take a long and I'll close it when Bitcoin takes out these highs. I'm not going to be charting that. You will almost never see me chart. You know, I do it for the streams because you guys like to have individual charts on altcoins because, quote unquote, that's the norm on Twitter. But honestly, when I'm trading altcoins, I'm not really looking at the charts. I'm just looking at what is moving, what's Bitcoin doing, and then I'll trade the ticker that moves the most. And I'll execute based on what Bitcoin is doing. I don't really care about, you know, because majority of the altcoin charts, they're absolute dog shit. Hype. We already did hype. Scroll back in the stream. If you scroll back in time, we did hype right here. Yeah, even memes. Like it's just, but listen, it has to have like liquidity and volume. I'm not going to be taking a shit coin with I don't know, 50 Bitcoin volume on the day, right? It needs to have some sort of volume for me to easily get in and out of the trade. XLM was the altcoin of choice. XLM USDT. All right, Binance. But for those of you who are new to the stream, like, is it starting to click how we approach the coins? Right? A pretty straightforward approach, right? So XLM. Yearly support, looking good. The quarterly, I'd say we might be in for some more downside here because this is the range high, that's the range low, and we've got previous quarterly value low right there. So I would love to be a buyer if you do that right here. I think that's good. So far, not really a trade for me. The quarterly developing value low is resistance there, and then the monthly, same story as the rest. So let's take a look at a regular chart. We can close this chart. I'm sorry to hear that, Marks. You don't like my icon. Why not? You're hurting my feelings, man. I'm really proud of it. I was like, damn. Which icon are you referring to, by the way? Which earlier logo? The one from my trading view? From Prime Trading? Or my personal banner? Bitcoin dominance chart analysis. All right. Do we have a moderator who can kick Fahim? Kick Fahim. We're not doing Bitcoin dominance charts here, bro. We're not doing it. Right there. What my chart setting color and all settings symbol. This I'll quickly go through it so you can copy paste it in the recording. This right here, the borders, that for all of the borders and the wicks as well. Canvas, this one. No, I'm just joking, Theme. I'm joking. I'll take a look for you, brother. But I honestly don't really use it myself. That is why. C to M stands for cock to mouth. Right? That's cool, right? Damn. I've been in this scene too long. 0.275. 0.275. Right here. Previous VWAP. Alright. Developing month VWAP. Previous quarterly. All right, so we can clearly see the significance of this level right here. 2-day chart, daily chart. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Would this make sense? Not really, to be honest. Nah. Let's take a look at the rolling VWAP. That I don't really like. All right. So range low. 12-hour chart. Range high. We got anything on H12? Oh yeah, we do. So there's that. All right, so XLM. It is trading at key support. Previous year view. Is it previous year VWAP? Yeah, it's previous year VWAP. Right here. And we've got the previous quarterly value. I just want to have that on the chart. Where is it? Previous quarterly. Okay, so we might just sweep it. But previous quarter value, though. Okay, so in this case, I don't really know how low we're going to go, right? To me, it's looking like we might be sweeping the lows right here. We do have H12 support. But around H12 support, we also have previous quarterly value, So in this instance, I would be more comfortable waiting to see, are we sweeping it? And if we do, are we able to break market structure there? And once we do, I think the down close candle that forms right here, that's the one that you want to be buying into on a retest. So basically that third tab setup, right? Where we form the initial low, the deviation below that low is a big BV down close candle here, a red candle. Once we have a market structure break, we could look for longs there on the pullback, and I'm going to be targeting range high. That's how I would trade it. Anything else is not really worth my time. I'll call my channel A2M. I mean, I'll subscribe to that, bro. Listen, I'm a supporter. No biggie. No, that's not serious, man. C to M stands for coins to moon. For those of you who are with me back in the day. Like 2016, 17. Coin to moon. Now that's cringe as fuck, isn't it? But can't really change the name, do I? Can you check APT? Yeah. APT USDT Binance. But we shorting, yes sir. You know, back in the day when I was young, right? Right now I'm old. Like crypto aged me for like 30 years. It fried my dopamine receptors. It just fucked me up. All right, APT. To be honest, APT, that's not looking good. You know, the yearly resistance. Even that yearly from 2 years ago, failing to hold a support. We're bleeding below quarterly value. Bleeding here below quarterly value, developing quarterly value, lowest resistance. Consolidating here at the month. Let's take a look in terms of structure. Rolling VWAP, what are we doing? Okay, so the 30-day rolling VWAP is here. All right, so this is what I'm liking so far. I like that it's trading down here as well. Let's get some levels in. Weekly chart. Do we have anything? No. This is a big ass weekly level right here. The daily. H12. A lot of these structures are really similar. And I think it's really going to be depending on what Bitcoin does. Where's Bitcoin trading at? 84? Still the same. That is why I'm thinking, considering that a lot of these altcoins have a structure like that, like let's say that Bitcoin does end up sweeping lower back into the previous value, or maybe even the yearly rolling VWAP at 74, confluent with previous quarterly value low. Like I'm not saying that we're doing it, but let's say that we do. That would force a lot of these altcoins to go for one final leg lower. But short term, similar to the rest, I would love to be a buyer on, again, it's getting really boring. A big break lower, followed by a pushback within the range, and that's going to be a buy for me right there. Conversely, now that we're taking this low, this resistance here has the potential of becoming a bullish breaker. So if we do this and then we cleanly break back above that level, confluent with the 30-day rolling VWAP, from a trending perspective, if APT is bearish, this should hold as resistance, right? So if we get a close back above and retest it, then that's going to be a good buy back into this, and then potentially right there into the quarterly rolling VWAP. So right now, no trade. We either sweep it, reclaim for longs, or we accept back above for longs as well. Or of course shorts if we end up rejecting there. So that's APT. Thoughts on Venry? Let me just quickly take a look at some structural questions. 1 second, guys. You said you do not chart analysis and take entry in altcoins after confirming the Bitcoin. Do you use VWAP confirmation to take an entry on altcoins? Can you please show any coins how you take entry? Honestly, the way that I do it is I just, for example, whether you're trading on terminal or if you're trading on, let me just get this right here, a bit lower. If you're trading on terminal or if you have your own custom CLI like we do, I just like to be a bit, I'm just fucking around with the logo. If Bitcoin, for my bread and butter basically is high volume bars at key contextual levels. So for example, pretty sure that the high volume bar here is capping upside at the moment, right? So we've got some sort of anomaly here in volume where we have this as a previous low. We've got a high volume break below an old low, below previous quarterly VWAP. If I have made a list of altcoins that I want to buy, I'll have a command line interface ready where I can type in buy or chased by whatever, Hype, ETH, Sol, Link, Litecoin, depending on what or I make a basket of all of those trades, right? So it's a bit, I just market buy the altcoins once I see that Bitcoin is forming a low, because I want to capture the higher percentage of those altcoins. Makes sense? So my execution is not based on how they look. I do my daily prep based on VWAP, based on Bitcoin. And then if Bitcoin manages to accept back above the point of control, I will take a note of this, by the way. And within the next, if there's enough animo for it with these altcoin streams, like if you guys like it, we can take a look at how these things have unfolded with previous interactions. For example, right here, Bitcoin formed a high volume bar at a key contextual level. I didn't take the trade, but let's say that I would have taken the trade. Then how much percentage would have been how much percentage did the best performing altcoin at that point in time, right? Long here, stopped or NTP there, right? Or the moment we, right here, where this here is a high volume bar breakaway below the 22-day composite value area low. If you're bearish in altcoins, this is where you can short the altcoin, right? On the worst, on the shittiest performers. Can we day trade altcoins based on TPO same as Bitcoin? Yeah, sure. VWAP is perfectly fine, but I'm not a big fan, whatever rocks your boat. If you want to have the lower time frames, you can add the weekly time frame to it as well. When taking trades based on composite value high and composite value low, what key confluence do you use for confirmation? Do you rely on Delta, order flow, or order tools? As I just said, I rely mostly on positioning within the bar. So I tend to keep it as simple as possible. So what I want to see is whenever I have support or resistance, and this is why the structures like a bullish order block work the way they do and a bearish order block work the way they do. It does, because think about it like this. If we form a low near a key level, it doesn't necessarily has to be VWAP. It can also be a previous low or the 200 moving average or whatever your preference is in your trading system. However, if we just form a low like that and we trade below that low, now this candle right here that's going to form, that's the candle. And it's closing at the low, right? A nice beefy down close candle. It's a bearish candle. So if we were to take a look under the hood, so to say, oftentimes what you'll see if we were to draw this candle right here, a similar candle, just a bit bigger, so we could draw in the positioning within that candle, you'll see that volume is tapering, is tapered here, and then towards the lower boundaries of that candle, it's getting pretty big. And that's often an indication that previous longs that got long here, that had their stops below this low, are getting absorbed, right? Their stops are triggered. We should be closing them at market. However, if there's a passive buyer here, they are absorbing all of those stops, right? If there are breakout traders, they are getting short below previous low. If there's no follow through and they're getting absorbed, right? It means that there's a whole lot of participation below previous low. Then if we close back above that down close candle, right? Like, let's say that the next candle was this, people will be like, oh, it's a bullish order block. And that's why we're looking for longs. No, you're not thinking about this, what I've just explained. You're not really taking longs because of a bullish order block. You are getting long because you are anticipating that people that sold into this candle, right? That's why it's a down close candle. They will want to get out a break even, or if they're stubborn enough, they will get forced out. And if shorts need to close, they need to buy back at market, right? So that is why oftentimes when you see, everybody knows the rules, right? If you got an order block, you don't want to see it close below the mean threshold. That's what ICT says, right? Because of the interbank liquidity algo or whatever. But that's all bullshit because it's just the positioning. Think about it from your own personal perspective. If you shorted this low and your average entry is in the middle and price revisits your entry, you're like, all right, I'm getting out of break even. This was a shit trade. Let's get out. But If you want to get out of that short, you're essentially buying back your shares at market. That is why we're getting buy pressure, right? And that's why a bullish order block works, because of the positioning, not because of some magic algo or whatever, but because of the traders that were wrong and they realize it and they want to get out. Same goes for a bearish order block, right? It's the exact same thing, but at the opposite extreme. Makes sense on why I rely on why I rely on the positioning. So you can choose to look at order blocks for this, or you can choose to look at the positioning. And that is why right now, right, you don't have to overcomplicate things. Right here, this is a down close candle. The high volume point of control indicates that if we were to draw this out as a candle, that majority of the volume right here is looking like that. Point of control, right? The bars here. So it's majority of the volume is within the middle of that bar. So if nothing changes fundamentally, this high volume point of control will be resistance as long as we trade below for continuation lower, potentially towards the previous value high. But if we reclaim this, and this is most important, right? Because you will want to be taking trades at key contextual levels. So right now, I'm only looking at this. I'm only talking about this because we are trading near previous quarterly VWAP. So if this ends up being a deviation and we can accept back above the point of control like that, I think this bullish order block then, right? Because we're closing above, then this final down close candle before we took out the lows, then becomes support. And that this point of control, the middle point of that order block, is likely going to be defended. Why? Because people want to get out. They realize they've made a mistake. People that were shorting below previous low, they want to get out. People that got stopped on their initial long and now we swept it and now we break above, they want to get long as well. And that is why it works. So there, and this is what works for me. And I always tell people, like, you should be trading what's easiest for you to recognize as a pattern, because the way how our brains are wired, we are extremely good in pattern recognition, right? And for me, that's high volume bars, it's VWAP, it's stuff like that. It's positioning within the bar. So that's a whole lot of rambling for me. Does that make sense to you guys? You know, why a order block works the way it does and why it's not necessarily a magic thing or whatever that someone came up with. It's just, if you think about it logically, then it's just the positioning within the bar that either wants to get out or forces to get out. I don't know if there's a different tool for that, buddy. We made this for the Discord. Are rolling VWAPs better than periodic VWAPs? The trades with rolling VWAPs are limited, but it gives quality setups. Rolling VWAP is, for me, it's mainly used for a trend following system. For example, I had a little rant the other day about how people were yapping about, oh, Bybit got hacked, and you know that as a result the market pushed lower because Bybit blah blah blah. In my opinion, the market rejected because we had the 30 rolling VWAP and the quarterly rolling VWAP here. So from a trend following perspective, a lot of people will be watching this level, because if Bitcoin is bullish, right, then it needs to get reclaimed. But as long as it doesn't, right? It's the area where you want to be getting defensive. You want to be protecting your capital. You want to be looking for shorts. That's why we're getting this, because we are rejecting of that quarterly VWAP, rolling VWAP, right? 30-day. So are they better? I think they're as good as a periodic VWAP, but they just give lesser signals because of the length, right? But that is why I'm thinking that if we take a look at the total here, H12, and if we were to, for example, get rid of the 30-day because a bit too low time frame for total, right? Support, this is where you go risk on. But the moment we sweep below and we reject, I even tweeted about this, that's where you get risk off on altcoins. And then you avoid the bleed. And now this is the point where things start to get interesting again. So it helps me filter out the dog shit. Fahim, are you in the Discord? Because we went over that today with the high volume bar, with the trades. If you are in Discord, you can rewatch the market review. I'm not sure if you are in though, but... could you chart any altcoin based on TPO? Haven't seen you doing it, but would love to see it, especially for day trades. We can do that within the next stream. That's a good question, but I'm going to be wrapping it up for today because we're reaching an hour-long stream. And I think that's more than enough. We covered a lot. No, so JIT, the reason why it works is because everybody is watching the same levels. Why do you think Fibonacci works? If we plot it from a high towards a low, right? Why do you think the 1.618 works? Because it's a magical number? No, because a lot of people are doing the same thing. That is why it works. So when a lot of people are watching an order block, that's why it works. In my opinion, guys, in terms of Bitcoin, like if you go back towards BTC, like we need to be holding this. If we take a look at the previous interaction here with developing value, whoops. This is where upside got capped, downside got capped, right? Max opportunity for longs. If we take this into consideration from the, it doesn't plot anymore, but let's just draw it out. Previous year, right here, right? Max opportunity before higher prices. So that is why I'm thinking this needs to hold. How far we're going to be overshooting this, undershooting it, I don't know. But what I do know is that it better be holding a support, because if it doesn't, what's the next leg to destination? 66 on the yearly, right? But that's a story for another stream. If you enjoyed today's stream, if you made it this far throughout the stream, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. Leave me a like. It helps a lot. And I will see you guys within the next stream. Take care, buddies. See ya.